That wasn't a normal train. Something was wrong in Roblox. It all started when I read a strange comment. Bring the train, 6 horses. Something will await you. At first, I thought it was a troll, but I listened. I spawned the train, added the 6 horses, and the moment I did, everything changed. Something answered, and I don't think it was meant to be found. Now it's out there, and I think it's looking for someone. But before I show you what came next, I need to show you how it all started. I was protecting my train, barricading it, to keep out zombies and other invaders. But everything changed as soon as I came to this town. A message popped up on my screen. I wasn't sure if it came from an admin, but the message read, "The horses will give you the answer." I was really confused because I was alone. Who is communicating with me? I wasn't sure on what to do. There wasn't any horses nearby, but I spotted something in the town that left me speechless. Behind the giant white building, I saw an arm sticking out, and it was bright red. What is hiding in the town? And how strange that it appears after these messages. Maybe they're connected somehow. I got on the train, but there was nothing in the town, and I made it to the safe point. At this point in the game, I wanted to look for horses because I wanted to find out what the answer was, and I'm sure you guys want to know as well. But what is that up ahead? There was something on the tracks. Something I've never seen before. A group of horses, but there was a bunch of bodies next to them. What happened here? It seems like the local sheriffs eliminated them. I picked them up. One of them was still on the horse, but there was just a bunch of horses in one spot. How strange that these horses appear after I received those messages. It's almost like it was planned, but by who? I went to the sheriff's station to collect some bounties, but something happened that gave me chills. One of the bandits was floating, which was strange. It was just bugging out. Luckily, it was now daytime, and there seemed to be nothing wrong with the horses. They were all just facing forward, and just when I thought the messages would end, I got another one. It said, "Place them on the train." Okay, I guess I'll do that. So I picked up one horse and I placed it. Nothing happened yet. I then placed the following horses, and another message appeared. It said, "Make a black and brown pattern." At this point, I wasn't sure if this was just a troll. I remember reading a YouTube comment about this on my video, but I didn't know it was actually real. I gathered all the horses and I was down to my last one. I picked up this brown horse and I put it on the train. Another message appeared on the screen. It said, "Help him look for him." What? At that moment, the screen started glitching. There is something wrong with this train. I spotted the face of a creature sticking from above the town. It was behind the wall. It disappeared, and I checked my player count. I was still the only player, and there was nobody typing in the chat. The messages I was receiving, it appeared to be from an admin. Since the creature was nowhere to be seen, I guess I have to take this train to whoever's looking for it. I purchased some coal and I began fueling up the tank, but I noticed something was different. The miles on the train, they changed, and it now said a name, Trainfall. What does this mean? It seems like we now have more questions that we need to discover. I began looking around the train and I was alone. Who left that there? I then got on top of the train and I noticed something was off. My screen began glitching when I looked at the horses, almost like they didn't belong here. It was also nighttime and it was too dangerous to travel. Then one of the NPCs started talking to me. What you're about to see next won't make sense. What is this NPC trying to warn me about? I was getting really scared, guys, but I wanted to see what was in front of me. So I got on top of the train and I spotted a town out in the distance. It was the town of Sterling, but there's something there. This creature looked massive, but I couldn't see it. It was so dark. The thing about that town is that it's abandoned. So what is that creature looking for? And who could it be? Eventually the sun rose again, and I think it was time to go see what was over there. So I got on the train and I made my way to the town of Sterling. Even though it was daytime, I noticed that the sky started turning black and it began raining. This can't be a good omen, but I need to go see what it was. Luckily, I had my weapon ready, just in case a creature decides to appear. But as you can see, the town is abandoned, but I found a note on the floor inside one of the buildings. There lied a message that could lead to an answer. It said, Trainfall was our train. Trainfall, isn't that the name that we saw back in the train? But what is it doing inside this town? Is there a connection here? Maybe Trainfall was the name of their train before they all abandoned this town. As I searched every building, I heard the sound of a train, but I wasn't sure on where it was coming from. I think it's coming from this mine. Let's go check it out. I used dynamite on the entrance, and inside I saw something weird. It looked like a leg and arm, almost train-like. I then heard the sound of a train again. It was definitely this creature, so I ran away as fast as possible. What was that? It seems like I encountered something that I wasn't meant to discover. At this point, I was really scared. What did I just summon? So I eliminated all the horses. These horses were the cause of all my problems, and I think I made a mistake doing that. I left the town of Sterling as fast as possible. I didn't even want to look back, but I noticed that while I was on the train, I was moving faster and faster, almost like it was trying to take me somewhere. I no longer had control of the train. Someone else did, and that someone wasn't me. Eventually, the train stopped. I looted this base, and I got back on the train and saw something. What is that in the distance? That wasn't there before. This thing looked really weird, and it was just looking at me. You know what I'm realizing? That thing looks really similar to what I saw in the cave. They have the same colors. I got back on the train and I left. Maybe I can get a better view in this town. But something was wrong with my train. It started making a noise. What is happening? Is my train alive? I started shooting at it, but nothing was happening. I'm pretty sure my train was trying to talk. What? I tried fueling it up to see if it would fix itself, and the same message appeared on the train. It said Trainfall. Guys, I'm starting to think that my train is alive, and that this train is actually Trainfall from the town of Sterling. Another message popped up. Go to the castle and leave the horses. And I'm pretty sure this is it. This looks like the castle. So I removed the horses from the train and I left them in front of the castle. My screen began to glitch and I heard the sound of the train again. But this time it wasn't just a noise. I looked above the castle and all I could see was a giant beast. This beast was Trainfall. I tried to eliminate him, but he crashed my game. If you want to know what happens next, drop a like and check out these other stories